What's up guys, Jacob Rothenberg here, and in this week's video, it's not going to be a podcast. I've still been busy with everything going on in life. I'm in the process of having my house in California sold. It is pending contract. I've got an offer, so I've just been moving back and forth with stuff, and I have a lot going on this week too. So instead of having the time to do a podcast interview, I thought it would actually be interesting to watch Kindlepreneur Dave Chesson on his video, which is titled Pre-Order Your Book, Why He Doesn't Recommend It. And I thought it would be interesting because I recommend pre-ordering your books in some context. So full disclaimer, I've talked to Dave Chesson. He's an awesome guy, very much one of the most legitimate figures, one of the most legitimate authorities in the self-publishing industry. So I'm really actually looking forward to watching this video and seeing what he has to say. I'm sure it's not a one-size-fits-all opinion on why he believes you shouldn't pre-order your books, as I also don't have a one-size-fits-all approach, but I haven't watched this video. This is going to be completely my first time going through it, so let's go through it. Let's do it.
Hey guys, I'm Dave Chesson of Kindlepreneur, and today I'm going to be covering pre-orders. You see, a lot of authors see the coolness of using a pre-order, which is where you start selling your book before you actually publish it. And while there are some benefits to this, there are actually a lot of negatives that hurt most authors.
So, context. Most authors are going to be negatively affected with pre-orders. So, I can kind of feel where this might be going. But I'll just tell you that you need sales, pre-order sales, to really make it work. And if you don't get pre-orders, it's going to hurt you. So,
therefore, the majority of the time, I do not recommend that authors do a pre-order because they could be shooting themselves in the foot. So, in order to teach you about this, we're going to cover what pre-orders are, how they benefit you, and also how they hinder you. And I'm going to say this right now, the people that I do not think should do a pre-order are those that are not famous, do not have a large following, or do not have a really amazing, perfected book launch system in place.
yeah, so going back to that point, if you're going to be just putting out a pre-order for the sake of putting out a pre-order, it is going to drastically penalize you, I believe, with your overall launch. And it could actually, I'm not going to say kill your launch, but it would definitely hurt. Now, on the flip side, we'll get to that in a sec, but let's keep going.
Perfected book launch system in place. So if you're not one of those three things, then the real thing is that you should not do a pre-order. Now, before I get into that, if you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button, as well as the little bell icon to the right, you'll be sure to get a notification of when my next book marketing video comes out.
My bad. I subscribed.
And with that, let's begin. Alright guys, so like I said, there are a lot of benefits to pre-orders. One of the biggest things to pre-orders is that you can set your book for sale on Amazon before you write it. This can be cool because if there's a normal shopper and they come across your pre-order and they know who you are, or they love this story and they want to read the next book in the series, then they'll probably click it and purchase it.
So I get asked a lot, how much time minimum should you have your pre-order set up in advance? I would say a minimum of 2 weeks gives you enough of a window to actually make your pre-order window relevant. If you're doing a pre-order for 3 days out from a book, it's why would you set that up? But I recommend a 2-week window for your pre-order launch. And as far as a maximum duration, what's the farthest out you can have a pre-order set up? I would say for as long as you can consistently drive pre-order sales. So if you want to put your book out, it's July at the time I'm filming. If you want to put your pre-order out for a December release, that's fine. However, make sure from the moment your pre-order is live in July, you're able to consistently, hopefully at least daily, get pre-order sales. If you want to go a year out and do that, etc., but just make sure you can get consistent sales for your pre-orders, regardless of the time window.
And again, this can be helpful to authors that are famous and that have a large following. But if you don't have that, do pre-orders still help? And the answer is actually not really. They can really hurt you. To explain this best, let's talk about a book launch. Now, in previous videos, we covered that when you do a book launch, you don't just want to have a giant spike in sales in one section. Instead, you want to kind of tailor out your book marketing efforts in sort of a scheduled manner that makes it so your sales are consistent, which tells Amazon two very important things, which is you're popular and you're relevant.
Okay, so this is actually gold, guys. If you're watching this video and you're a veteran level publisher, you need to ingrain this right now for pre-order setup. So note that Dave is recommending, instead of like a spike and a taper in pre-order sales, so let's say you get 10, 20, 30, day 1, day 2, day 3 on your pre-orders, but after day 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it goes down to like 1 or even 0. That's not good. That's actually going to penalize you with the Amazon algorithm. What you instead want is consistency. So even if it means only getting 4, 5, 6 pre-orders a day, as long as you can maintain a consistent stream of pre-orders daily, that is what will make pre-orders helpful to you in the Amazon algorithm, either benefiting you, like pushing you out through SEO on the search results, or having you show up prominently or more prominently on the also bots, along with having a better BSR for your pre-order. So this is gold. I can't believe he's giving away this advice completely for free, but that's why Dave's awesome.
Popular and you're relevant. And when we show Amazon you're popular and you're relevant, they start showing your book more often, they get them higher in the rankings, and more people will see it, and that's how books are able to have a great book launch that carries on and makes sales beyond that. Now, this book launch normally starts from the moment you publish your book until your marketing efforts pretty much fade out.
Okay, guys, memorize this. Go to Dave Chesson's video or screenshot this. Launch ARC, reviews, emails, whatever sites you can schedule, getting swaps, and then running ads. So, I mean, my way of doing it is a little bit different. I would actually schedule the ARC and reviews before the launch for most books. There are some cases where I won't get reviews beforehand if I think the book can do really well and I'm in a rush. But I think this is in regards to a live release. If this were for pre-orders, I would still change. But this is mostly accurate. But if you want to like hit the top 100 on Amazon, I would change this up a little bit with the order of operations.
And you start relying on organic sales from Amazon, or you start doing advertisements. And that's great. Here's the thing though. When you do a pre-order, you start to take that schedule and you move it back to when you launch the pre-order. And now Amazon starts judging your book and your sales efforts from that point on.
100% correct. So if you do a pre-order, your popularity and relevance is factored from the day of the pre-order launch. Not the live release, but the pre-order launch. So that's why he's emphasizing and I'm emphasizing get consistent sales going on from day one of your pre-order launch. The worst thing you can do is just have a pre-order out and not drive any sort of traffic to it and get sales for it. So don't do a pre-order launch just for the sake of doing it. I'm not going to, it's my channel. It's stupid. It's a waste of time. And anyone who tells you to not run ads or not get any sales going on for pre-orders doesn't know what they're talking about. So yeah. Other thing I want to mention, for most fiction titles, in fiction, I don't think Amazon ads are really worthwhile. I think Facebook ads are still superior. People might have their difference of opinion for that, but Facebook ads work better in most contexts. Now, if you're in nonfiction, Amazon is fine.
Not from the launch. So if you do a pre-order and you do not have marketing efforts, you do not have sales coming in because you have fans or followers, or you're a famous author, then all of a sudden Amazon's going to see this lull of no sales and no interest. And then when you go to launch your book, you're going to be hindered because that past history of no sales is going to affect your popularity and relevance factor in Amazon eyes. And you're going to really have to fight against that. Now, another thing some people could say though is, but Dave, if I pre-order my book, then there are sales that can happen. And that's the key is, yeah, can happen. But let me ask you this. If you're on Amazon and you're scrolling looking for a book and you come across a book and you find out that it's not going to come out in 80 days or so, and you don't know that author, you just kind of just discovered them, are you just going to buy a book and then wait 80 days and hopefully get it?
No, you won't. You wouldn't wait 80 days for a book that you've never heard of in regards to the author. It's like pre-ordering a video game that comes from a developer that no one's ever heard of. There's no marketing, no hype. It's just like Tetris 1988. People actually know that game, so whatever. But yeah, I've seen that in my experience. Pre-order sales don't happen by accident most of the time. Now, can you get lucky and get maybe one pre-order sale for a book that no one's ever heard of? Yeah, it's possible. But for most situations, you really need to have pre-orders happen by intention. So again, if we go back, social media marketing, paid ads, author collaborations like swaps, and promo sites. Those can help with pre-orders. I primarily focus on ads and doing email launches for pre-orders, but let's go on and hear what Dave has to say.
No. I mean, there's so many books out there, and if you're on KU, you could just pick up books. So for the new author who pre-orders a book, the problem you're going to run into is people who come across your pre-order book are probably not going to purchase it. You're also going to hinder your launch process because that giant period of no sales will reduce your popularity and relevance factor. And then on top of that, you have your launch that has to go from there. So there you have it, guys. This is the reason why I don't recommend pre-ordering. Unless you're famous, unless you have a following, or you are like a super marketer that can create a long launch process to.
So you don't have to be a super marketer. I don't consider myself to be a super marketer, but I do consider myself to be someone that knows marketing with regards to particularly self-published books. So, you don't really need like a huge following. I'm not saying, he's not even saying that you need like 1 million followers to have a successful pre-order launch. You can really get by with as few as like 1,000 email subscribers. And yeah, I can see it already for a lot of newbie publishers. 1,000 email subscribers sounds like a lot. In actuality, that can be built relatively inexpensively or even for free by use of building up your email list through Lead Magnet and getting author collabs for swaps. I won't get too much into that in this video, but guys, don't think that you have this like barrier to entry with getting even 1,000 email subscribers. It's easier than you think. You just have to put in the work and put in the time to establish an actual infrastructure for your brand, whether it's your self-authored pen or maybe you've got this nonfiction brand going, but it's not hard to build an email list. I've done it for fiction and nonfiction at this point. So I know firsthand it can be done relatively inexpensively, much better than how I was taught last year even with fiction. But anyway, it can be done. So don't think that you have to be a super duper awesome marketer, but you do have to learn how to market.
Include pre-order process to the order process. And if you don't have these things, then you could be hindering yourself. So keep that in mind, and the next time you're thinking whether or not you should do a pre-order, use those 3 general rules to figure out if that's the right move for you. And with that, I'm Dave Chesson of Kindlepreneur, signing off. Cheers.
So yeah, that was an awesome video, Dave. I pretty much agree with nearly everything he said in this video. Obviously, he's someone that was publishing very well. He has to understand algorithms and algorithm behavior with Amazon due to having a software that has to interact with either the API or just with behaviors in the algorithm on the platform. So he's going to know his stuff, and with his network of publishers and authors that he works with, I believe Dave is a multimillionaire at this point. So he's going to know what he's talking about with regards to how Amazon behaves with its algorithms. And as someone who is still publishing, still on the front lines every damn day with publishing books. I can tell you that what he's saying is accurate as of this time in 2020, as of July 2020. What he's saying is completely accurate. Now, can things change with the algorithm? Absolutely. Things change all the time on Amazon, and what works really well this month might not work next year as effectively. What worked last year with regards to how to generate sales and how to get the optimal amount of page reads to get profit doesn't work this year. So there are going to be shifts in strategy. There's going to be patches on Amazon. You have to be able to shift to the meta of what's going on for the given month and be able to play the game according to how the updates are set up. So be sure to check out my channel or even talk to me on the regular on Facebook, on YouTube with what's going on currently on Amazon. Likewise, you can interact with Dave. You know, I might as well say it other than Dave Ramsey being here. Dale L. Roberts is the man to go to as well for everything you need to know with publishing on Amazon, especially with what's going on in the space. And I'll just put it out there. Don't listen to those coaches that run those Facebook ads that promise you a passive income lifestyle, but they don't publish themselves. Anyone that makes money solely off of courses and doesn't publish won't know shit about publishing. So you want to stay away from those folks and instead listen to those that are actively publishing and know what they're talking about. So enough shots fired, guys. I've got to get back to doing some more stuff, some more work. Hopefully I can schedule a podcast interview with someone cool. Let me know who you want to see on the channel. Otherwise, I will see you hopefully in another video soon. Take care.